It's gotten so horribly wrong. General Kid's out, and all of his men are dead. As far as I can tell, I'm the last one alive.
I was a mild-mannered chemist. I formulated your toothpaste. Then they came, and everything changed for all of us. First, we sent out our bravest, most confident, most handsome diplomat to meet with them. It didn't go well. They call Earth Region 72. They want to capture us, enslave us, and take our planet. But if we have anything to say about it, our region will remain free.
They're the best. They're the best.
Come on, man!
They released Monster O.
They're here already! You're next! You're next! You're next!
All right, we are live. Welcome to episode number 26 of Region Free. I hope everybody out there is doing great and having a wonderful holiday season. Quick Patreon plug, and then we'll dive into tonight's show. If you like the show and you want to support it a little bit more, head over to our Patreon. That link is in the description. We've got some exclusive content over there for you to sink your teeth into. So that link is in the description. All right, joining me tonight, we've got some new blood. We've got some fresh blood making their return to the show, and we've got some old blood. So it's a taste of all the blood spectrums here tonight on the show. So, all right, first joining me all the way from the North Pole, Sam Reindeer. How's it going?
It is a blood tiramisu up in here. But
Right.
me saying that, I'm probably going to get my period tomorrow now. So
you've completely cursed yourself right there. Yeah.
But because I wasn't already cursed.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. Just drinking some water, drinking some coffee, ready to talk about stuff, hang out. How you doing?
Doing well. Doing very well. Trying to stay warm and
Ooh, is it cold up there yet? Because it's unseasonably warm down here.
It's been fluctuating like crazy. One day it'll be 30 degrees, and then the next day it'll be 60. Or we'll have days where in the morning it's like 20 degrees, and then by the afternoon it's 60.
Yeah, we have mosquitoes still, and also we have bees. And I'm like, the bees are very confused by the weather.
Yeah, that probably makes them a lot more easily agitated too, I would imagine.
I think so, because they were very curious about me sitting outside today and just wouldn't leave me alone. So, oh, it's because I'm honey baked. There it is.
That's it. That's what did it. That's what did it. You're irresistible. But good to see you tonight. Thank you for being here. Right on. Also with me tonight, making his return, his triumphant return to the show. MJ, what's up, man? Are you there?
Technical difficulties?
Okay, technical difficulties. I've called on him too early. All right, we'll come. MJ, are you there? All right, we'll come back to him. Pretend like that didn't happen. Joining me tonight, also from the Flesh Wound Features YouTube channel, Dan. What's going on, Dan?
What's up? What's up, guys?
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. I guarantee the new blood tonight is going to be better than Von Wagner, and I will not be as good as Johnny Gargano. So,
those are big shoes to fill, though.
that is big shoes. Von Wagner is very big shoes.
Okay. Those are big shoes to fill. And I think MJ is here. MJ, are you here? No, not here yet. Not here yet.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. There you are. What's up, man? How's it going? I think there might be a delay.
How's it going, everyone?
Oh, okay.
It's
Good,
going.
man.
Good.
Good.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah.
you. We can hear you. We can see you.
Okay.
All right, there you are, man. How's it going?
Little audio technical difficulty.
It's all good.
Okay.
It's all good. Good to have you back. It's been a while, but glad to have you back.
Thanks for
All right, right on. And making his first appearance on Region Free from the Cult of Cinema YouTube channel. Aaron, how's it going?
Pretty good. I am both old blood and new blood at the same time. There you go.
The best of both bloods, right there.
We had our first snowstorm of the year this year. So I went to work and on my lunch break, shoveling. So work, shoveling, and then back to work again. So lots of fun.
Now remind us where you're at.
Right now I am in Nova Scotia in the Atlantic provinces of Canada. And I'm still getting used to it. I'm not native to here, so it's taking a while.
But you got your first snow of the winter, huh?
I'm like a kid. I don't mind the first snow. It's kind of like my big happy place. When I used to like snowboard a lot, it was a lot more for me to do. Now it's like snow. I'm going to shovel and probably enjoy it just a little bit.
That's cool. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to have you.
It's an honor.
Right on, man. Very cool. Well, while MJ works out his technical issues, have you guys seen any good movies lately?
I just got back from Wolf the other day. Not a horror film, but it was interesting.
The Jack Nicholson film, right?
No, not the Jack Nicholson film. This was about a man who thinks he is a wolf. I guess it's technically not a furry movie. That's what I'm trying to figure out. There's been long debates about this because I don't think would it qualify, Sam, if you literally think you are a wolf, like a literal wolf, or would that be something else?
I mean, there's some overlap, more than likely, but I'm not too familiar with the species dysmorphia that you mentioned. So, I mean, the extent of my experience with people in the furry community is I had a roommate back in 2012 who he was a furry and he identified, well, not identified, but it's sort of like for him, it was sort of, just wolves resonated with him. So, and I guess that's how I got into the furry community in general. And he had like a wolf head and then a wolf paws and feet and a tail. So it wasn't like a full outfit. But I mean, he was pretty much just a regular dude, worked at a car wash and detailed cars and liked wrestling and lots of anime and nerd shit, like pretty much like most of us. But it wasn't like full dysmorphia. Now, I think that there are people that probably do have dysmorphia that also feel, more welcomed by the furry community. And so they probably gravitate towards that. But That's about it, you know. In general, I mean, I haven't really had any bad experiences with people that are furries. Everybody's, you know, pretty much been chill. You know, it's just sort of like, oh, this is just a thing. I'm like, okay.
Did you ever like, get up one morning and go to the kitchen to get, I don't know, a cup of coffee, and like he's standing there in full on wolf, like, eating a Eggo or something?
No, I don't think I ever saw him in person with the wearing the wolf outfit. I mean, I saw the head a few times, but I don't think he was wearing it. That usually happened at parties before me and my ex moved in with him and my friend. I do have a pretty funny story though. When I was moving in over there, I have like a kind of an issue with my neck, so I had some people helping me move stuff. And one of them was my friend Sergio, and he was on Face Off, third season, I think. And so Sergio's bringing boxes over, and my furry roommate friend, he's like looking at him like he's trying to place where he is. And then later I get a text like, "Holy shit, was that guy from Face Off?" And I was like, yeah, it's like Sergio's very cool. Sergio Guetta, he does excellent special effects work. So still based in the San Antonio area, but he pretty much just does stuff with city-based cinema here.
What season was he? I interviewed the cast of the first two. Maybe it was 2 and 3. Oh, okay, it wasn't the one with Joe Castro, was it?
I do not remember.
Okay.
I don't know for sure, unfortunately.
Okay.
Sorry, my phone was ringing and distracting me for a second.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I actually it fell apart, but I was doing a documentary at one point, and I was going to interview somebody that lived as, I don't want to be too specific because this person I think has been on TV, but lived as a puma or cheetah or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Never got to do the interview, but I was told will not talk to you, like lives. Yeah, like
one of my roommate's friends had a full fursuit, and I think he was some kind of big spotted cat. The fursuit was beautiful, absolutely stunning, and he would just keep the head on the whole time and be silent and just basically live that way and act out his stuff. And it's like, okay, you know, you think it's funny because it's like you'd think it would be weird, but then you're just hanging out with them, and it's like, that's fine. Just another day. Business as usual.
It was an interesting movie. Like I said, not a horror film, although it does have one of the cringier gore scenes that I've seen this year. And I won't spoil that, but it made me wince, and that's hard to do. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Simple, but yeah.
Shout out to Nico. Thank you for the $5 super chat, man. Happy Horror Days Region Free gang. Hey, Piz. Hope you're doing well, Nico. Hope you're having a good holiday season, buddy. Thank you for that. Where's Wolf available?
It is playing in theaters right now. I don't think this one was streaming anywhere as of yet, but I was the only one in the theater, so I'm certain it'll be streaming before long. But yeah, no, it's a good movie. The ending's a little predictable. It's actually Johnny Depp's daughter plays one of the main roles, and she was actually really good in this. I saw her in the Kevin Smith thing, and I think she has a little more potential than Kevin Smith's daughter at this point.
So, all right, Dan, put you on the spot. Lamb versus Wolf.
Lamb. Lamb, a little more. I mean, that has some horror elements to it. This one really doesn't, but I don't know. You get to see Patty Constantine shove a human German Shepherd's face in his urine, so it had that going for it. It's a weird movie.
Okay. I'm going to put you on the spot even more here. Lamb, wolf, or pig?
Ooh.
So here's
my 3 favorite foods.
Yeah. So here's the thing about Pig. That was advertised as this crazy Nicolas Cage movie, and it's really not. I don't know who's actually watched that yet, but it's a drama. Like, it's not Nicolas Cage out for revenge against the people that stole his pig. it is just like a sad drama, and honestly, I could see him even getting another Academy Award nomination for it. It's good. It's not what you expect.
I've not seen it yet. It's definitely on my list. I've got quite a list that I want to watch before the end of the year, but it's definitely up there.
If you get the Blu-ray, there's a special feature where you get to see him cook. He cooked signature dishes from the movie. So cooking with Nicolas Cage is worth the $13.99.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Anything else good? Have you guys seen anything else good?
I've been working my way through the Severin Blu-rays. I finally saw Ballad in Blood, which was the last film that Ruggiero Deodato did. It was not good, but it was not good at all. It was actually a lot of fun to watch, if that makes sense. It's quite bad, quite politically incorrect. But yeah, I had a good time with that. Rewatched House on the Edge of the Park. I know I'm suggesting like very mainstream things right now. I did watch Night of the Demon.
Night of the Demon.
Yes, which everybody needs to see. Best Bigfoot movie ever.
Which I watched that myself for the very first time. And yes, it was it was something. It was something.
I won't spoil it because I assume you're posting a review, but liked it, didn't like it.
How can you not like it?
Okay.
I mean, how can you not like that movie, really? It's it's
where else can you see Bigfoot castrate a biker?
Where exactly? Where else can you see that?
Typical Saturday night, Sam.
Yeah. But yeah, that one, oh my God. The acting, the everything in that movie is just like, you can't even compare it to like a bad porn. Because even the acting in those are better. It's like, God, it's like they went out of their way to get the worst actors that they could find. But I don't know, it kind of works for the movie because it's almost like it's so weird and off the wall. It almost has this dreamlike quality about it. And then you watch Bigfoot castrate a guy and you just go, yep, okay. So this is that kind of movie.
It's that kind of movie. You don't see that in Harry and the Hendersons.
No.
I fought with some of the Flesh Wound guys over it, and no, Night of the Demon. I put it above Harry and the Hendersons.
We're the only people who've ever compared the two, I'm sure. But, you know. What about you, Aaron? Have you seen anything good lately?
I wish I could say something like really cool, but in all honesty, I'm a Whovian. So I kind of like watched Flux. Like I waited for it to end, watched the entire 6 episodes in a row, and it was glorious. Not sure if any of you guys know Doctor Who, but
I do.
Hell yeah. Really, really enjoyed this, especially old school, going back to the cliffhanger days of like the pre-new Who era. So really, really like that. Excited to see where it goes from there. But aside from that, like I have not yet seen Night of the Demon. Well, I've seen it years ago, but I haven't seen the new one. But would you kind of like double feature it with Shriek of the Mutilated? Because I love Shriek of the Mutilated. That's a weird ass like kind of Bigfoot movie.
Michael Finley. Yeah, it's a great double feature with that. In fact, if I was going to pair it with a Bigfoot movie, it would be Shriek of the Mutilated. That's not quite as good as Night of the Demon, but if you like Shriek, you will love Night of the Demon.
And also, Shriek of the Mutilated is on Tubi for free.
There you
go.
go.
I'm going to be adding that to my queue after I finish Silent Night, Deadly Night.
I just added it to my list too. So
yes,
it's on there. What about you, MJ? Have you seen anything good lately, man?
Been watching a lot of classic old films, like Sunday, etc. A lot of, as Sammy just said, on Tubi. That's one of my favorite sites. Haven't been able to watch as much as I normally watch because I've been getting over like a 3-week flu, but got a little bit of it in. I actually was watching a little series. It's not really that good, but it's okay. The Wolf Blood series on Tubi as well. It has a little teen horror to it. That's about it. It's pretty much just going through that season while I'm sick and everything.
Well, are you on the mend?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Are you on the mend? Are you starting to feel better?
Yeah, now I'm just barely getting better, barely getting better now. It was 1 week, and I thought I was going to be over with. Then it turned into a 2 week, into a 3 week thing. So I was sore and everything. I didn't really do anything, and especially have to go to work at that time. So just wasn't feeling. I'm barely just now feeling back to myself.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're starting to at least feel better, man. Gosh.
Okay. No COVID though. No COVID.
That's the important thing.
I think if you'd had COVID, you'd been over it by now, wouldn't you? I mean, geez, your 3-week flu. God, that sucks. Sam, have you seen anything good lately?
Well, we really haven't touched on Ghostbusters.
Ooh,
I did finally see it.
Yes, we can talk about that then.
Go for it.
It's
You loved it, obviously.
I mean, as far as like the hierarchy of Ghostbusters films, I'm still going 1, 2, Afterlife, Answer the Call. But I mean, Afterlife is I like Afterlife because I got really invested into the new characters, and they felt like regular people, and the dialogue didn't really feel forced. So I'm good with that for, the majority of the movie. And then in the third act, they're just like, fuck it, let's just do Ghostbusters. Like every single part of that third act is just the first movie. And I'm just like, but you don't need to. You already have a good thing going. So I wonder if that was some studio interference, because like, I think Jason Reitman did a really good job. Him and Gil Kenan, they wrote some really good characters, and I thought I was going to be really annoyed by Finn Wolfhard it's just like, oh, Stranger Things Ghostbusters, and it wasn't. I also thought I would hate the podcast character, but then it turned out, oh, he's just a tiny little ray and it's so adorable. So he was like definitely the MVP. But it's too much like, they're just good. They should have just kept doing their own thing and made it less like just shot for shot, like at the end kind of thing with the original. And I didn't need to see any of the original Ghostbusters show up. Y'all could have left them motherfuckers out. Annie Potts is fine. And I'm going to get into some spoilers here. So if you haven't seen Ghostbusters Afterlife, I'm sorry. It's been out for a couple weeks though. So the whole thing with Egon like going nuts and like taking all of their equipment and going to the middle of Oklahoma to go figure out the apocalypse, and everybody else like basically is like, well, fuck you, Egon. And then Janine's the only one, because she's still been trying to hit it for that many years. I am totally like, that's dedication. I think leaving Janine in is fine. I don't think we needed the original Ghostbusters. And honestly, it felt really cringy when they showed up at the end. Also, why the fuck is J.K. Simmons in this movie?
That felt like a joke, because he's in there for like 3 seconds. I don't know.
Y'all paid J.K. Simmons some J.K. Simmons money to get ripped in half. He's on screen for like 30 seconds. He ain't doing nothing except being like sitting in that glass coffin since he's Ivo Shandor. I'm just, you could have done something like there's some weird thing like Ivo Shandor versus Egon, and then Egon dies, and then it's Ivo Shandor. But no, we're just doing fucking Gozer again. I'm like, well, y'all tried. I mean,
I think the highlight was the daughter for me.
Yeah,
I thought she was great. And yeah, well, once they showed up at the end, I don't know. It wasn't as emotional as everybody was building it up to be for me. I liked it. It's a lot better than the last film. You could even make a case that it's better than 2. I mean, we love the original cast, but 2's not a great movie.
I agree, and there is you could definitely have some very good debates of Ghostbusters 2 and Afterlife. Since I mean, I just go for 2 because it's nostalgia, probably, but they're very much on equal footing.
Yeah.
Reactions have been kind of across the board. I've heard people, have the very emotional reaction, and like it brought them to tears, grown men crying in the theater, and then all the way to
Like
People
I'm in
hate
the
it.
era of like Ghostbusters in theater, and I like them. I really do. I had the soundtracks, all that type of stuff, but it was never like, oh my god, this is sacred. You can't touch this. Like in all honesty, Real Ghostbusters, the cartoon series, was way more my jam, man. Like this was okay. And you're right. The third act does kind of reeks of Rob Zombie's Halloween 1, as in like it's doing its own thing. It's doing its own thing. Okay, it's doing completely the same thing that the original movie did, and that's okay. That's kind of like surfing that nostalgia wave, which is cool. But yeah, it was okay. Like I guess that's the best way to put it. It's kind of middle of the road. The reason I would put 2 above it is I like Peter Pinknickel in part 2. And he kind of like steals the show when it comes to that one. Not so much the Ghost, he does more than the Ghostbusters do, but yeah, we didn't actually need the Ghostbusters back. I can see why they did it, but yeah, it's nice.
And Sam, you have pissed off Bill Murray because he's in the chat, and he is not someone you want to be. He's not somebody you want to cross.
You know, I saw that, and honestly, like if we're like Ghostbusters 2 has the best soundtrack. I will die on the hill that Ghostbusters 2 has the most banging soundtrack. Bobby Brown's On Our Own is something I will play on a regular basis. It doesn't have to be Halloween or anything in particular. I just love the shit out of that song.
Didn't he do another song for that soundtrack?
I love that song.
Yes. I don't know the whole. I don't know which other one. What other one? If I think he probably did.
Is that the one that plays over the closing credits you're talking about, On Your Own?
I don't know if it's on the closing credits. All I know is I love it. But I did have the soundtrack at one point in my life, and I always played it more than just. Wait, I was trying to think. There's a montage scene, but I don't think that's Bobby Brown in that one. Sorry, I got distracted for a second. But no, that one, and then also Flip City. That's Glenn Frey or Fry. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it either way. Flip City is a hell of a banger too. Like On Our Own, Flip City, and then probably that Ghostbusters montage song.
I think On Our Own might have been the one that played over the credits.
Also, the Black Ghostbusters outfits are amazing.
Oh yeah.
Those were so good. Look sleek as hell.
I remember watching the videos for like the Bobby Brown video for the Ghostbusters 2 thing.
Oh yeah.
And just being like, man, this guy's incredibly like the every little step video, and thinking like, this dude's super freaking talented. You know, like this guy's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He had other tracks. It's just that that's what I always said with Bobby Brown. That track, that specific song for the soundtrack of Ghostbusters, it really just put him over the top because that song is so memorable. Whenever you hear that, you automatically connect it to the Ghostbusters. Your first thought is Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, Mr. Sam and I will sing that in the car.
Listen, stay away from cocaine, okay? that took him away from us too soon. Took his talent away from us too soon. Just say no. Just say no.
I thought Bobby Brown was alive. Whitney Houston's dead.
They're both gone. Wait a minute. Are they both gone? Is Bobby Brown still alive?
No.
Jesus Christ. I hope I didn't.
He's alive.
Yeah, Bobby Brown's still alive.
Oh, thank God.
Don't kill him.
Yeah, they're actually.
His daughter's dead and Whitney's dead.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they're actually touring right now with the old group New Edition.
That's the second. That's the second person
really?
I've killed on this show because I killed
Bob Dole.
I killed Peter Weller. I thought I confused Peter Weller with somebody else, and I was like, oh, Peter Weller, R.I.P. And everybody was like, so that was the running joke that Peter Weller is dead when he's really not. So now the running joke's going to be that Bobby Brown's dead and he's not. Like what? I don't know.
Okay, something's gonna happen tomorrow. My mom has like the biggest crush on Peter Weller. And I'm just going to say this. Now, I love Leviathan, but he is such a bimbo in that movie. There's like no emotion. Like Brie Larson is emoting more than Peter Weller.
Screamers.
Screamers is good.
Of Unknown Origin, the one that nobody's seen. And that is
I love
such a
that
good
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Shannon
great.
Tweed, actually, from my
Yeah.
home province of Newfoundland, is in that.
There you go.
Buckaroo
Yeah,
Banzai. I love Buckaroo Banzai.
he did some good movies. Everybody
He did.
talks just about RoboCop, which is amazing. I mean, that's the sign. I have a signed RoboCop poster over there. But man, Buckaroo Banzai, but of unknown origin, is arguably his best movie. Honestly, maybe aside from RoboCop, but
What about the one with the rat? Was that Naked Lunch?
of unknown origin.
That's yeah.
That's Why did
I
Never
I
mind.
forgot about Naked Lunch. Yeah, Naked Lunch. He was in that too. He's been in a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, takes some liberties with the book, but yeah, Naked Lunch is good.
Yeah.
Cronenberg never made a bad movie.
I want to mention Titane. I finally got around to watching Titane.
Oh,
And oh my god, my mind was blown. That movie blew my freaking mind. Good lord. I feel like that's a movie I need to watch like 3 or 4 times before I'll begin to get a grasp of what was going on in there. But a lot going on in there. A lot going. It's not just a woman who makes love to a car.
no, well, does she?
No, yeah. I mean, yeah. Good question. Good question.
There's a lot to that movie. It's not just random weirdness. I'm a champion of Titane. I love that movie.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Let's jump into a couple of topics here. The new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie that's going to Netflix. The trailer dropped. Any thoughts on that trailer? Does it spark your interest in the film any, or no?
Generic as can be. I mean, there was nothing wrong with the trailer. It was just whatever. I mean, at this point, it's hard for me to get excited about a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I love the first 2. And I just don't think there's anything left to tell. To be perfectly honest, if I were to do a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I would really just go crazy with it now. Do your Leatherface in space or Leatherface in the hood. It doesn't matter. Just put him somewhere fun.
Yeah.
And just have fun with it, because I don't think they have another great Texas Chainsaw Massacre left in them.
I don't think there's any way to necessarily. I mean, Tobe Hooper did reinvent it from the first one to the second one. That was it. I mean, there really didn't need to be a part 2, but if they did it, and Tobe Hooper did it the right way by making it practically a spoof of the first one. It didn't. That Texas Chainsaw Massacre didn't need to be a series, and you're seeing now why. Because just let it go, let it die, let Leatherface go to the old folks' home. You know, Leatherface in the nursing home during arts and crafts would be a beast. Let me tell you, a beast.
I have a dissenting opinion.
Oh,
go for it.
Hot take, I guess. When I first heard what it was going to be about, the whole idea of him kind of like being sort of domesticated, then something bringing him back out, and I saw the trailer, I was kind of mad. And then I realized that it was being written by the guy that did the new Evil Dead remake.
Right.
Well, sequel, I guess. And I'm like, yeah, that interests me a lot more. And I figure if you're going to do this character with every other take that's been done on it, why not do Old Man Logan? You know, why not do something that style? Because at least it's different. At least it's not hopefully going to be the exact same thing again. We're going to see, because Leatherface, as far as we've seen him in every one of these films, hasn't been a character that you could see like being normal at all. Like, he's the really weird, strange one. There's always a hitchhiker that seems normal, or there's the cook and he seems normal. Leatherface never seems normal. There's never a time when you're looking at Leatherface and like, oh yeah, that guy could normally walk through society.
Yeah.
But somehow in this one, he does, and he has been for quite a while. They're bringing back Marilyn Burns' character. Rest in peace, Marilyn Burns. But they have another actress to play that character. So that's going to be interesting to see how they do that. But I don't know. I'm intrigued to see how it'll go. I'm hoping that it goes well. I got to meet Gunnar Hansen After just around the time Texas Chainsaw 3D was coming out. He was super stoked by the movie at the time. And here's a guy that used to scare me. Like he scared the hell out of me when I was a kid. So when I finally got to see him in Montreal, and he was like this teddy bear, I was like, oh my God. Used to give me nightmares. So it was really cool. But I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic because, but then again, I've liked some of the better like Texas Chainsaw movies overall. I didn't mind part 3. I thought part 3 had a lot of fun to it, as opposed to like some of the other sequels. Like there were some good parts to part 3, even like part 4, which is pretty much known as kind of the weird, strange one.
Yeah,
Matthew McConaughey, he rocks that movie. Like when he's on the screen, oh my God, Matthew McConaughey's going to be a star. You can just tell by this kind of weird, insane take that he has on this character. It should not work. He's a guy that has like a brace on his leg and a bunch of remotes, and that should be just the dumbest thing, and it is. But it's also hilarious and scary and fun. And then the movie turns into crap when, like, in the last like third of the film. But overall, I'm kind of excited to see where they go with it, just because the pedigree of the people behind it. And I've been disappointed before because, like, when the guys that made Inside went and made, I'm like, no, didn't like it. But the last one was Leatherface, they call it, right? Where you had to guess who Leatherface was, and it was
also shot in Bulgaria, trying to double for Texas.
That's the other nervous part. But I don't know. It's I'm being an optimist. I'm going to go in and hope it's a good film, and it's that they can set up like either finish it off and do something new, or set up a brand new series. Or are they going to? Is it okay to like get in the spoiler territory with like a James Bond film here?
Sure.
You can either do what they did with James Bond and just okay. I guess we're either going to start over and do something completely new, because there's no other way to go with that, or they just like, this is it. This is a swan song. But the fact that Netflix has it, and that I don't think they're going to go, hey, yeah, we're going to do one film and that's it. We're not going to milk this cash cow. No, they're going to milk this cash cow.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing that it went to Netflix, because I mean, Netflix is who doesn't have Netflix is in everybody's home. I mean, people are going to have far more access to it on Netflix than in the theater or on VOD. So I mean, and Netflix has deep pockets, so it's not like they lowballed them. I'm sure they paid a decent amount of money for it. So I don't know. I feel like I've been burned. The Leatherface was just abysmal. Chainsaw 3D has its moments.
Just the timeline. That's like the big issue.
Yeah, and the time. Yeah.
But Halloween, guys. Halloween. The timelines for Halloween.
Listen. That's like trying to figure that out. It's just a migraine headache waiting to happen. Keeping up with that timeline. But yeah, it's the hoops you got to dance, the hoops you got to go through these days to put out a new one of these movies that are that are 40 years old. It's ridiculous. But I don't know. I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch it. The plot I do think is kind of intriguing, where like you said, he's been living as just a regular Joe, and then something happens and he puts on somebody's face and he's Leatherface again. So
who hasn't done that though?
Exactly.
Just put on somebody's face and it just takes over.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll all be in the execution. We'll see.
Yeah, I know those test screenings they said weren't great, but but that could also be honestly because it is totally different, which I think it needs to be. So we'll see. I'm interested. I wish they had matched the trailer for 3. That is the best teaser trailer of all time.
It is, yeah.
My favorite teaser of all time. The
That is
movie's
a good teaser.
just okay. I love Kate Hodge. I'm a big She-Wolf of London fan, but she's about the highlight of 3 for me.
And I say that there shouldn't have been sequels, but I do like 3. And I do like The Next Generation for the reasons that Aaron mentioned. And I thought the Texas Chainsaw remake was a million times better than it had any reason being. But yeah,
That's my one issue. It's the remake, and I'm in the minority. I know when it comes to that, but I watched the remake at the drive-in around a year ago with my cousin, and we watched it with Friday 13th, the original Friday 13th film. So the original Friday 13th film came on first, and surprisingly held up better at a drive-in than I would have expected it to, especially after all this time. Right, I've seen it a million times. Mm-hmm. The remake to Texas Chainsaw Massacre does the one thing that I hate about horror films. Let's make every character so brain dead and have to make all the worst choices possible throughout this entire film in order for this movie to work and like move along at all. They got to pick up this girl who's clearly deranged. They have to wait with the dead body in the van. She has to throw away the keys because that's got to be a thing that happens. Like every decision that they make, let's go with this sketchy cop guy. Nobody makes the right decision at all throughout this film until right at the end of the movie. And by that time, I was like exhausted. I actually liked Texas Chainsaw at the beginning. And I knew that was going to end, obviously, better than I liked the remake.
So I'm the total opposite. I saw the beginning in the theater when it first came out, and I didn't like it, but I've not seen it since. And I know a lot of people do like the beginning a lot, so I've been tempted to go back and rewatch it. I'll tell you the best decision that was made in the Texas Chainsaw remake was that skin tight, sweat soaked wife beater that Jessica Biel wore the whole time. That was the best decision made for that film. I
concur.
Yeah, so.
Jessica Biel or Alexandra Daddario from 3D Piz.
That's right.
Daddario.
Gotta pick.
just easy for me.
I don't know. I do love a lady wearing a tight, sweat-soaked wife beater. It's a tough decision. I don't know.
Gotta fight Justin Timberlake though. That's the only downside. If you,
I don't think that would be a difficult fight. I really don't.
So the wife beater, like the tank top, and not the skin of a domestic abuser, right? I mean, I think it works either way.
Exactly. Yeah.
I have a Timberlake rant, but
do it.
Have you met Justin Timberlake?
I did. I had a conflict with him.
Oh my God!
Please do it.
Not like, I mean, I didn't get into a fight with them, but we were at Hard Rock and starving. It was a long road trip, and I noticed a lot of people just freaking out. The waitresses were freaking out, not waiting on us. Already took our order, and I finally like kind of flagged one guy down. I'm like, what's going on? It's like, Justin Timberlake and his entourage are in here. And I didn't care. I just wanted my wings. And it was almost 2 hours before I got my wings.
Oh,
that's about the extent of the rant. But I've hated Justin Timberlake ever since because he held me for my wings.
Yeah.
So.
That's a good reason, though.
It's a good reason to hold a grudge, yes.
That's a damn good reason. Good reason. Yeah.
Were the wings cold?
They weren't great. Like I could tell like nobody was paying attention to quality control because it usually is good at Hard Rock. But yes, that
bastard.
Yeah,
all
that
because of Justin
Timberlake, son of a bitch, cost me wings.
Oh, all because of Justin Timberlake. Jesus.
I don't watch his movies now. So
it was also just announced tonight that Gun Media, the company behind Friday the 13th, the game, is going to be releasing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game that's supposed to be survival horror. Yeah, kind of in the same vein as Friday the 13th. So I know Wes Keltner, who's the man behind Gun Media, had been tweeting about their work that they were working on a new game that involved a popular horror franchise, and everybody was going, "Oh, it's got to be Halloween or, Nightmare on Elm Street," and no, it's Chainsaw. So I don't know. We'll see how that turns out. The survival horror definitely lends itself better to Friday the 13th than I think it does Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But
yeah,
I mean, I guess they can, I guess they can do it in a similar fashion.
Well, the neat thing about this is like in the Friday 13th game, you basically play camp counselors or you play Jason.
Right.
So it's like one after a bunch of people, right? And there's tasks you can do along the way. With a Texas Chainsaw game, sure, you can put Leatherface in there, but you can put Nubbins in there too. You can have other characters from the family. So you can actually have one going after a bunch of people. You can have a team, like the Chainsaw family going after a bunch of like regular people. That kind of opens it up a bit. That's kind of interesting.
I like that idea. You could have Chop Top in there.
Oh, hell.
That would be cool.
You know, you could have the hitchhiker in there with his razor. You know, you could have the cook poking you with a stick. That would be interesting.
What would be your guys' like dream horror movie game?
Oh,
Like
I got it.
Go for it, Sam.
I want a puzzle fighter game, but with all of my favorite horror movie villains. And then when you execute their specials, like weird shit happens. Like if you execute Freddy's special, you just get a bunch of red and green little blocks dropped on your screen and messes you up. I've thought about it.
That's perfect for Hellraiser, man.
Yes.
It is.
Now that I'm looking forward to. I love Night House. I think Bruckner might do a surprisingly good job on the Hellraiser reboot, but a little more excited for that than Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, I think you're going to get a bit more inventiveness with the Hellraiser film.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, and the Night House was good. I liked it. That's one I saw recently, but I think I talked about it on a previous episode. But so yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game. I see my buddy Garrett's talking about it in the chat. We used to play Friday the 13th the game together some. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that turns out. We have had more Rust developments, which in the ongoing Rust saga, seems like every time we do a show, there is more Rust news that I feel compelled to cover. Alec Baldwin delivered the performance of his career in this interview that he did the other day, claiming that the gun just went off. Because that's what guns do. They just go off. It happens all the time. And immediately after that interview, YouTube was deluged with videos. I watched one from one of the guys that was on the Dukes of Hazzard, basically saying, but all the videos are basically saying that's not how guns work. That couldn't have happened. That did not happen. What's funny is too, this is not the first movie Alec Baldwin's been in where he's used a gun. He's used guns in a lot of his movies. So I don't know. Again, we're going to find out. I think eventually everybody behind the Rust thing is just they're going to look at each other and go, let's just throw him under the bus. He's had a good career. He's rich. Let's stop protecting him. Let's save our own asses. And they're going to go, yeah, he was playing with a gun. He was twirling it around and he was playing with it and it went off. That's what's going to eventually happen, I think. But yeah, his interview was just beyond ridiculous.
Do you guys think he'll go to jail?
No.
I don't know. He's not going to go to jail. He's going to pay a lot of money though. I guess it depends. I mean, if they do throw him under the bus and they're like he was playing with it and throwing it around and you know he knew it was dangerous and he just didn't care, maybe. But I don't know. He's rich and he's rich and white. Rich white people don't go to jail. So
yeah, true.
I think if at the very least he's guilty of pointing it her direction.
He's going to have to cut a big check.
Yeah, I think he would have been better just saying, look, 'cause, I mean, I don't think he murdered her. I mean, that's
no.
But
that is an insane conspiracy theory that's making the rounds.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That he intended to murder. I'm like, are you? No, can we be serious?
No,
Sorry,
she's not. She wasn't paparazzi. I don't think so. But he, I think that interview was just cringy. He should have just come out and said, "Look, a horrible mistake was made. I'm deeply sorry." And I think that interview, the way it was, just the slick editing, and it just went off. Which again, I don't know a lot about guns, but they don't just go off. It definitely doesn't work that way. And once they analyze that prop gun, which I'm sure they already have, that's going to be disproven. So
you can tweak the action on the trigger to make, like, a hair trigger to make it easier or harder to pull. And I mean, so you can, if you pull it out too quick and you put your finger on the trigger, and it doesn't take a whole lot of pressure. But I mean, still, that means he's doing something that's dangerous with the gun. So but the guns just don't go off. That just doesn't happen.
No, I think it's just a case if he were more upfront from the beginning. It's all of this like trying to cover your ass kind of stuff that just comes off poorly.
Yeah,
his PR people suck. This is what a lot of this comes down to. His PR people suck. From letting him do that interview to putting out that tweet with there was a message from a lot of the cast members of Rust and stuff, a lot of the crew members that came out. Was it today? That was cringy.
Yeah.
As well. In all honesty, who was using real bullets on this set anyway? That should never happen. I mean, like, come on, if you've got guns on a set, never should real bullets come into those guns. You're making a film. Accidents. We've seen The Crow. Accidents can happen. That wasn't even a real bullet. That was that was discharged. But still, I don't know. It's gonna, this may be the end of his career. I don't think he's going to get charged or get anything serious. There's going to be a thing. This may like really hurt his career, and but I don't think we're going to see anything serious come out of it. I wish we would, like, at least to see some different gun regulations done on sets, please. I mean, in all seriousness, do you need a real gun? No. Are there other ways to go about it? Why not? Like, at the end of the day, you can. This is 2021, almost 2022. Can we have guns look realistic enough that we don't need to put people in harm's way just for that extra bit of realism?
It'll all be CG now. It'll be CG, which for the most part it is already. But
yeah.
Not that crazy CG blood though. That looks horrible.
No.
That looks horrible.
I still like my squibs.
Yeah. Even Adam Baldwin, who's no relation to Alec Baldwin, but from Full Metal Jacket, and he's been in a ton of movies with guns. He was like, this guy's full of shit. He was like, this doesn't happen. He was like, this is, so.
Is Adam Baldwin the one from Firefly?
Yes.
Yeah, not a fan. Super not a fan. Saw him at a convention. We were literally in line with to go to meet Adam Baldwin. But the way he was reacting with other people, we were like, you know what? Nope. We're going elsewhere.
But yeah, I don't know. It's well, I'm sure by next episode there'll be more developments, and I mean, his PR people. I mean, maybe they couldn't talk him out of it. I mean, maybe he just thinks he can act his way through this and fool everybody, and maybe he just thinks that everybody on the planet has no idea how a gun works. So, I don't know. Yeah.
Magic.
What do you guys think will happen with the film and everything? Will they scrap it, or you think they'll continue to push it?
I think it's already scrapped, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll never.
I mean, like,
it'll
should
never
come out.
Yeah, it'll never see the light of day.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, just scrap it. It shouldn't come out. It shouldn't come out.
Yeah. It's very sad. I don't know. I still think he should just. I think people would probably have a different view if he had just come out and not done that interview. That interview was horrible. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. It did him no favors.
Yeah.
I mean, like Stephanopoulos, like that should be a real easy interview.
Yeah.
You should come out looking pretty good, and you came out looking even worse.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's just dude needs to cut his losses.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think I think we'll know his career is toast when SNL drags him.
Yes.
When that
there
day
you go,
comes,
right there.
we will know.
Does
Mhm.
does SNL replace him with Daniel Baldwin
Oh,
Ooh.
or
just Daniel
Steven?
Baldwin.
Daniel could pull off more of the. I think Daniel would be a better fit.
Steven did Biodome Piz.
I was
He
thinking
did.
Steven because of Biodome.
You
He did.
can't discount that. I mean, that's hell of a resume.
That's true. I'm just saying physically they look more alike. Because Stephen Baldwin's like 5'2" or something, and then
Yeah.
Alec and Daniel, they look big at least. So I don't know. And poor Billy, whatever they've put Billy in a closet somewhere, and no, he's on like some show now, isn't he? I think he's doing all right.
One of those Law and Order CSI
Okay.
things, I think. Yeah,
So he's doing all right.
yeah. I think he's just been on that forever. So that's why you miss him.
Well, let's talk about some physical media, shall we? We just had Black Friday, and I know a lot of us here are big physical media collectors. But first, let's check in with our buddy Garrett and the latest edition of the Rad Report.
Rad Report. Rad Report. Rad Report.
What's up, everybody? Garrett back here, and I'm interrupting your regularly scheduled program to bring in the new edition of the Rad Report, where I go through all the newest physical media releases and news for the next coming weeks. All right, so I want to make this short and sweet. There's a ton of news and a ton of releases. We have a real 4K heavy release week. First of all, we have Hard Target in 4K release this week from Kino. I actually have that in order. I grabbed it on the Black Friday sale, so I'm just kind of waiting for that to come in. News is that there is already going to be a disc exchange, so I guess one of the discs in that set needs to be replaced. I feel like we've been finding this more and more lately, and it's kind of a bummer. If you guys haven't, make sure you contact Wellgo USA for the Phantasm. I just got my discs in for the new Phantasm 1 and 2. What's so funny about those discs is they're actually two completely different discs. The artwork is very different, so you can tell they really messed up on that first release, but I'm so happy to get those in. So if you haven't, contact Wellgo USA if you need those Phantasm replacement discs, because they're shipping out now. All right, the next one coming out this week was a big one, which I happened to grab already. Of course I did. This is the new Karate Kid 4K box set. You've got Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3 in here, which again, I'm super excited to have, especially Part 3. Part 3 didn't get a lot of love. I do have a Blu-ray, but it was like from Canada. You just couldn't really get it here in the States. But yeah, man, I'm excited for this one. I can't wait to dive in. Scream Factory released Krampus this week on 4K as well, the Naughty Cut, and I've heard great things. So I actually have mine on ordered, so it should be here by the end of the week. Roger Rabbit hit 4K this week as well. I really want to get that. I'm a big fan of the movie, but I've been hearing that the transfer on this 4K is not that great, so I've been a little bit hesitant right now to pick up Roger Rabbit in 4K, just based on the reviews I've seen. And we also have Street Fighter being re-released by Mill Creek in a sweet steelbook. If you guys don't have Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme already on Blu-ray, this would be the one to pick up because the steelbook is super nice looking. Venom Let There Be Carnage will be released next week. And the last thing I want to talk about is we have LA Wars, Jack Frost, and Jack Frost 2 being re-released on Blu-ray from MVD Rewind, which it seems like they're just taking out of print Vinegar Syndrome titles and re-releasing them. So if you happen to miss out on LA Wars and Jack Frost, now would be the time to grab them. So now we're on to some news, which again, there's a ton of news. There's a ton of things coming out. There's a ton of announcements. I just tried to grab a handful of the big ones because I definitely want to know your opinions on some of these. So let's start with Scream Factory, Shout Factory. They announced Alligator in 4K, which is a movie that's been super sought after for a real long time amongst horror fans. And along with that, you are going to get Alligator 2, which is going to be a Blu-ray, along with another long-awaited title, Summer School. They also announced Slumber Party Massacre, the remake, that I think was a Shudder or Sci-Fi original, I believe. I have not seen it. I would love to hear your thoughts on it because I actually heard it was pretty decent, but let me know. That is coming out from Scream Factory on Blu-ray. They also are re-releasing Slapshot in a limited edition steelbook on Blu-ray as well. And the last thing I want to talk about from Scream Factory is that they announced that they're going to be releasing The Howling in 4K, which is definitely one I want to grab. I hate upgrading and upgrading and upgrading, but The Howling is one of those movies that I feel like is going to look fantastic with a 4K treatment. Now, some more news, which I think might come from Arrow. Again, this hasn't been confirmed yet, but Reanimator has been confirmed for a 4K upgrade. Now, Based on the track record of Arrow, it almost seems like they're taking a lot of their older titles in those limited edition box sets and just re-releasing them in 4K. To the people who missed out, this might be a great opportunity to grab those sweet box sets, but for me or anybody else who has them already, this is kind of a bummer because it's the exact same set just with an upgraded 4K treatment. So again, so far, I've really passed on a lot of these, such as Hills Have Eyes. And again, if this is the Reanimator, same box set that we had, but just an upgraded format, as of right now, there's not enough meat on the bone for that, even though I do think Reanimator is going to look fantastic with a 4K treatment. Now, the same thing goes for American Werewolf in London. That's also slated from Arrow to get a 4K treatment coming soon. A couple other ones we have is Deadly Games being released by Arrow as well on a Blu-ray format. Also, too, Arrow and Synapse have joined forces to come out with a big Phenomena set, which again looks fantastic. But again, I have such a sweet Steelbook edition, 3 discs, Blu-ray from Synapse that, again, it's hard for me to really just buy into the upgrading once again. But if you don't own this already, this is one not to miss out on. Speaking of Synapse, they also announced they're going to be putting out Thriller on Blu-ray finally. But at the same time, Vinegar Syndrome just announced they were going to put out Thriller, they call her One Eye, on 4K. So I don't know the situation with that, but it should be interesting to see when more details arise. Just announced, Escape from LA is going to get a 4K upgrade. Sadly, that's one I'm going to have to pass on. Like I said before, when it comes to 4K, upgrading once again, I have to be a little more picky on what I choose to upgrade at this point, just due to the size of my collection and the space I need. We were just told that Halloween Kills 4K is also going to have 2 cuts of the film. One is the theatrical and one is the unrated. It's also said this thing will be loaded with special features, so I'm really curious to see what was left on the cutting room floor. In the last bit of news, we found out that Dead Alive is being remastered in 4K. No word yet on who's putting it out, no word yet when it's coming out, but we did get some word that Dead Alive is being worked on currently, so we should be hearing more about it in the near future. All right, so I definitely want to hear all your thoughts and let me know about some of these news that we just got and some of the new releases. What are you guys getting? What are you guys excited for? What are you not excited for? Let me know. And again, this is Garrett at Born to Be Rad. Now get back to the rest of Region Free.
All right, Garrett, thank you for another rad report, a very in-depth rad report. Thank you, sir. A lot of physical media releases.
I want that Street Fighter Steelbook. Oh my god, I love that. I don't care.
I saw you react to that, but I was like, is that happiness or is that like she's going to throw up?
That movie is such a hot mess, and I love it.
Have you ever gone and done that to somebody, Sam?
I have not. I'm sad. I actually made a joke at work about Tuesday, and I put the picture of Raul Julia from Street Fighter, and nobody knew what I was talking about.
That's people don't have culture anymore.
I know, and I'm like, y'all are my age. I know you grew up with it.
Pugs at Flesh Wound saw Andrew Benarski at a concert and did that to him, and he just scowled at him. He didn't do it back. So yeah.
He probably had no idea. Like, I'm surprised he recognized him. I saw him at the New Jersey HorrorCon. He was talking to me about Charles Bronson for 5 minutes before I recognized, like, that's Andrew Bryanarski. So
he's enjoyed his time at the buffets since '94.
Well, not just that, but I mean, he had like a big long beard and he was dressed kind of like a biker, and I just had no idea. It dawned on me halfway through, like, damn, that's Bryanarski.
Everybody's favorite Leatherface. I know. One that he did not mention, and it's not a brand new release, but for Nightmare on Elm Street fans, the Nightmare on Elm Street movie that most of you have not seen is on Blu-ray, and that is Mahakal, the Indian Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh my god.
Massacre Video, which everybody forgets about Massacre Video for some reason, but they put that out, and they put Toxic Zombies out recently, but you can get that Blu-ray off of their website. Probably be here next year sometime, late next year, but I ordered it. If you are a Nightmare on Elm Street fan, it is worth watching. Needless to say, a little different, but
well, let's
he had a pretty good list. I know quite a few of them that he named, but I actually have ordered on the way. I know the one he named the Stone Party Massacre. Definitely, I love that. I love that series, even though I have skeptical about the whole film itself with the big drill, the guy running around. But you know, it was still a cool little flick.
I think the Driller Killer cut his connection.
The remake was actually fun.
I actually really liked it.
I've not seen it. I do want to see it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
It's not perfect, but I was like, man, I'm actually having a good time with this. So I'll not every remake sucks. I think it's actually worth your guys' time. And I won't give anything away, but there are some winks and nods to the original while being different.
The recast for the killer was great too. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Let's go around the horn here. Aaron, what did you pick up during Black Friday physical media?
Black Friday sucked here. I literally picked up one thing. It was like a set, like an 80s, 90s icon movie collection set. That's it. But that being said, I was one of the first people to get my Vinegar Syndrome stuff from the sale. So I got that. I just got to get the time to watch it. I really want to dive into Flesh for Frankenstein, since I did see that like in a retro theater back in the day in 3D. So I'm very stoked to see that one again. And the only one that I don't care about is probably Ebola Syndrome. And I know a lot of people are really excited about that, but not me. But like Trauma, Argento, anything Argento, I'm down. Like I want the new Phenomenon one that's coming out, because I missed out when Arrow and Synapse put it before. So I'm super stoked about that. And out of the stuff that I got right now, I'm going to watch Trauma. I'm going to watch Creature again, because I remember watching that back in the video stores back in the day, the William Malone one. So that should be a ton of fun. So that's what I'm going to be. That was my Black Friday haul, because nothing came around here. I did want a Switch Lite. That was kind of cool.
I got from Vinegar Syndrome, because I actually got their website to work. I got Trauma and Resurrection.
That's a good title.
I was gonna get Creature. I don't know why I didn't pull the trigger on Creature. Because I think I was waiting for Severin's website to load or to work, and of course that just never happened. So I got so like frustrated with that, I completely forgot about Creature. And there was something else from Vinegar Syndrome I was kind of thinking about too. But I know Ebola Syndrome. I'd never even heard of Ebola Syndrome, but
it is bonkers.
The things I have heard about it now, I'm kind of like, well, I need to watch this.
It's insane. Get the Untold Story from Unearthed though as well. Another great Anthony Wong film.
Okay.
That's the better one though out of two of them, isn't it? Like they say like kind of Ebola Syndrome is really recycling a lot of Untold Story.
Yeah, Untold Story is the better film, but yeah, Ebola particularly, you couldn't make it today. You could say that about a lot of movies, but there is no way you could get Ebola Syndrome made today. The fact that we have that on 4K is just insane to me. I about gave up on ever even having it on an official US DVD, let alone 4K.
You think it 4K? I mean, like, play devil's advocate. I was a subscriber for Vinegar Syndrome for the last half this year, and overall I really liked it. And I would recommend subscribing to other people. That being said, I like Terminal Island a lot. I'm really glad I got it. Did Terminal Island really need a 4K? It's okay that it has it, but probably not. It seems like, it's just random. Like, okay, we got the elements. Let's just do this in a 4K. Let's just cause.
Yeah.
I may not need it, but it'll get it. I can see a Ebola Syndrome because a lot of people, like, it's not my thing, but this has a diehard fan base. So I get that. Like, they're doing the first Cat 3 and they want to go all in on it. Except I just really wish they would have produced the special features on Ebola Syndrome better, but maybe like a Cat 3 documentary, or at least some kind of like feature there, like kind of for people coming in new to this, kind of like coming in for the first time and be like, okay, this is what Cat 3 is. Here's a little bit of an explanation. And they really kind of dropped the ball when it came to the features.
And Untold Story does have a good Cat 3 doc worth checking out. And that's a fairly inexpensive Blu-ray too.
Explain the category thing for those of us who don't understand, because I'm not fully up to speed on the category thing with these kind of releases, these kind of movies.
Yeah, just basically they're like forbidden rating, essentially, and the doc runs down the full history, but they hold up. I mean, I know a friend of mine watched Untold Story, and there's like, oh, well, it's just like their R rating, and I was like, it's pretty heavy. I mean, there's some pretty brutal stuff in there. I haven't watched Ebola Syndrome in about 6 or 7 years, at least. I remember that actually being more brutal than Untold Story, although Untold Story is the better film. But I don't know. I mean, the fact that I think 4K right now too. I think they're testing the waters with something like that just hasn't been available for so long, and there's a little bit of a legend behind it. You know, you go to a lot of different threads on different Facebook groups, you see that pop up a lot. Quite frankly, I was a little surprised Phantom of the Mall, because you hear about that all the time. I thought they might actually surprise us with the 4K. Oh, they probably still will.
Well, yeah, because what they sourced that from was 35 millimeter elements. So I don't know what elements are. It wasn't the negative. So I think when you're doing 4K, if you don't have the negative, you can only do so much with it.
Yeah,
that's kind of what William Lustig had said to me when I did that Bloodstream with him, was like, you know, if you don't have the original elements, there's no need to do a 4K. That's why the Prowler's not gotten a 4K, he said. So
yeah,
I unironically love Eric's Revenge, Phantom of the Mall.
I do too.
It is. Yeah.
And that it got the only thing that it's lacking is like a Pauly Shore commentary or Pauly Shore on the making of, just like, I was high the whole time, I don't remember, you know.
Without Phantom of the Mall, we never would have had Encino Man and all of that great Pauly Shore cinema.
He's wearing a shirt in the movie that says Weasel on it. I mean, awesome. that foretold the future. So, but I love Eric's Revenge too. I'd forgotten how much I loved that movie until I saw it on the new Blu-ray, and I was just like, oh, so fun. MJ, you were saying something, and then the driller killer drilled through your internet connection.
Yes, sorry guys, I'm getting a lot of technical difficulties tonight.
It's all right.
I was just speaking on a lot of the films that he named. Actually had those on the way. That was crazy. I thought that was Summer Party Massacre. One he had on his wall, The Shocker. Have that one on the way as well. Also have The Gate on Blu-ray, which has been out already for a while, but have that on the way. Pretty much most of them that he talked about were pretty good, except for he was talking about the remake of the Summer Party Massacre. So I haven't seen it yet. I'm curious to see what it is like compared to the first one. But pretty much everything he named was pretty much on point, like all ones I recommend also that you should have.
Mm-hmm. What did you get during Black Friday, Dan?
Well, from Vinegar Syndrome, I ordered pretty much everything. Mine just shipped today, so I wasn't fortunate to get it early. But I'm looking forward to Creature, which I'm hearing from a couple different people now that it is spectacular looking. So that one really excited me. Just not that it's a classic film necessarily, but I've always liked it, and it'll be like watching it for the first time. At this point. Oh, there you go. Have you popped it in yet?
Not yet. I'll be honest with you. I love the film. Not big on slipcover.
Yeah.
This, to me, this will always be Creature, man.
Yeah.
This here,
yeah.
You finally be able to see a lot of detail, which may not be a good thing. I know that's something people commented on. But I'm very excited to sit down and watch that. I, of course, am also Ebola Syndrome, obviously. Trauma's not my favorite Argento film, but I do like it, and I'm sure that'll be great. Other than that, I kind of just... The Amazon sales were not great, as you said. I got Green Knight on 4K, which... say what you will about that movie, it is gorgeous, and I think it's going to look really good on 4K. But that's about it. Vinegar Syndrome. Severin screwed up on me. I didn't get my Dick Demon, so no Dick Demon. I'm sorry. I can't support you.
Yeah, still just frustrated with Severin over the 502 Bad Gateway. But
I will give Severin credit for one of my biggest laughs of 2021, where they said if you don't pay for the expensive shipping, they can't guarantee that the penis on the statue won't be broken. So I did find that amusing, but
I'll give Severin credit too, because I mean, like they had like masks, the creature mask, and they had, I mean they went all out for Night of the Demon, so I can appreciate that.
Like they had some solid titles. It's just like I'm in Canada, and everything that I get comes out from outside of Canada, I get hit with custom fees. So when I get my review copies from Australia, every single time, like, I get hit with like $35, $45, $50 custom fees for every single package. So
that sucks, man. That sucks.
So no Severin this year for me, and I really wanted House on Edge of the Park too. I got it the Blu-ray, but I wanted it with the Riz Ortolini soundtrack.
Well, is their website back up? Or I mean, because I know like Severin. Okay, because I know Severin closed down and Vinegar Syndrome closed down afterwards. So I mean, let's see if anything is still.
Vinegar Syndrome's in the partner month.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
I got Boarding House too. That is a fun movie. It's an experience.
So they've got House on the Edge of the Park is still there. Night of the Demon is still there. None of the good demon stuff is.
No.
It's all gone.
I think the book.
Everything looks like it's gone. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Even the novelization. Oh dear. Sam, are you a collector of physical media at all?
I mean, if there's something that I know I'm going to want to have on DVD to watch in the future, sure. But, the Black Friday sales. Now, look, I am a lady. And where do you think I spend most of my time for Black Friday? I'll let you guess.
Well, I don't want to make assumptions.
Yeah, let's not make assumptions here, Sam.
All right. Well, I was going to let you make assumptions, but no, I spent basically like it is almost Christmas, so it's like, as the lady of the house, I am scrambling to get gifts taken care of and make sure things are wrapped and done. But no, my Black Friday was, kind of largely spent looking at Bath and Body Works. I hope you motherfuckers like 3-wick candles because you're getting a lot of them. And they seldom disappoint.
And just so you all know, I'm sending you the Gwyneth Paltrow Goop candles. So expect those. Also, what's the actress's name from 30 Shades of Grey? She's got her own signature series adult toys that she's shilling on social media.
Dakota Johnson.
Dakota Johnson.
Really?
Yes. So
gross.
Yeah.
That's so gross.
I would think she'd have enough money she wouldn't have to shell dildos online.
Her father disowned her, maybe.
If not, now would be the time. But yeah.
She brings shame to the Johnson family. No pun intended. No, actually, I did pick up a couple of physical media things, but only one of them is horror adjacent. But those are gifts from Samta.
Oh, okay. All right. I hear you.
Yep. So,
did anybody drop the hammer on Synapse's The Kindred?
I did. I ordered it.
I did too.
And I'm a little confused. My order says completed, which I take it doesn't mean that it arrived and somebody stole my package.
No. I think that means
Okay.
they've billed you for it.
Okay.
And now they're just processing it for shipment.
All right. I couldn't remember. I was like, man, that scares me a little bit. That's a good movie. I know it's $50 and that's very pricey for anything, but I'm excited to sit down and watch it again. I knew I was going to cave and I did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was me too. I was like, just get it. Just stop,
Yeah.
Just get it. You know you're going to get it. I am really excited about the Alligator and Alligator 2 releases. Those are way long overdue. I love both those movies. And the fact that Alligator's getting a 4K is like, whoa.
Yeah. I got to see it at a drive-in a few years ago, right before the pandemic, and it holds up so well. I love that movie. It's easily one of the top 5 that I've been waiting for to finally actually come out. Now I just need Cast a Deadly Spell, because that's been on my wish list for a long time. And The Hitcher.
Yeah.
Pin, yes, David Hewlett. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on with that one. That Anchor Bay DVD's, I mean, that's an old DVD. I don't know why somebody hasn't put that out. Terry O'Quinn too. I mean, my God.
So, but I'm super excited about Alligator. That was on my top 5 of like films that I wanted. And John Sayles writing, so it's gotta last. So, and the second one's gonna be pure funds.
Yeah.
Unlike Grizzly 2.
No, Grizzly 2 was not worth the hype, but still. Story behind that one's fun though.
Let's see. What else did he mention that's on my list? Let's see. Really excited about Alligator and Alligator 2. The Hard Target 4K. Apparently Kino, the way that they had their replacement disc submission form set up, basically they're just giving away 4Ks. So if you fill out this submission form, they're going to send you a replacement. MJ took off running to get his in, apparently. But seriously, like I heard people talking about.
I'm still here, you guys. Still here.
Okay.
Still here.
So yeah, apparently they're being very lax with not requiring like proof of purchase or anything. So that's probably not good. Arrow had a good sale going on too, and I picked up some Arrow titles that I didn't have. Like Beyond the Door. Looking forward to watching Beyond the Door. Never seen it before, but heard things. I upgraded Basket Case. I got the Basket Case Special Edition and Pulse on Blu-ray. So
nice. There's one coming out next week for any of you gore lovers. Premutos from Unearthed Films, the Olaf Ittenbach film that's hitting Blu-ray. Probably his best movie. So if you like underground, extreme horror stuff, Premutos, I would recommend.
I'm kind of interested in Roger Rabbit, but I mean, we have the 25th anniversary Blu-ray, so from a few years back. So I don't know if it would necessarily be worth going, like upgrading, but because I love that movie. That movie is one of my childhood favorites. Have y'all ever read any of the books? Because I haven't.
No.
I actually had one of the books and I lost it in a move. But no, I'm a really big fan of Roger Rabbit. And we had the Vista one that came out. But when we moved here to Nova Scotia, we lost a box of stuff somewhere along the way.
Man.
And lost a ton of great stuff, including that actually. So it's going to be easy for me to upgrade to Roger Rabbit to 4K because I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that movie is so good, and I still really want to eventually get over to the books and see what that's all about, because I hear they're really interesting.
I think that'll look pretty good on 4K. I might grab it I haven't watched that in like 20 years, so I'm due a rewatch.
I'm disappointed that they put out the Karate Kid trilogy when there's 4 of them. Like, even if you don't like the 4th one a lot, Michael Ironside is in it, and for that alone is enough reason to have it in 4K, because we need more Michael Ironside in 4K.
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah. I agree with
Prom Night 2 is what I would like to finally see from.
I think we need all the Prom Night sequels, at least on Blu-ray. I think we need all the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies on Blu-ray, the sequels. I mean, we keep moving closer and closer to that point where, there's not going to be much left that hasn't made the jump. It seems like every year we keep, checking more off the, Phantom of the Mall had been on there forever. Spookies had been on there forever.
Alone in the Dark.
Alone in the Dark had been on there forever. And, now we've got Blu-rays for all those. So
Killer Party. Yeah. I mean,
Party. Yeah.
They're kind of going down that list. I mean, a proper Hitcher. I mean, certainly that's an essential release, but there's not a lot of marquee titles left. There really isn't now. I mean, I'd like, I say Cast a Deadly Spell. I know a lot of people don't even know what that is, but Necronomicon Book of the Dead.
Yeah.
Is another
one. I
one.
actually bought Necronomicon Book of the Dead when I was in Morocco, and it was in French only. So I gave it to a friend of mine who could speak French. But I was so disappointed because it looked so nice. I had a really nice cover, and I'm like, finally, I can finally get this movie. And because literally the only way you can find it is either on an old, screen or VHS copy, or if you're lucky enough to find it online somewhere. Yeah. But that's one of the ones that I really, really want.
Yeah.
Who've you got there with you, Sam?
Mr. Knight.
I've got 2 gray cats here too.
He said hello.
Yeah. He demanded pets, so I had to give him pets. Mm-hmm. I had to give him all the attention, and now he's saying, "Okay, that's enough. Now let me out."
You watched The Uninvited, Sam? It's a killer cat on a boat movie.
Like a long time ago when I was a kid.
Okay.
Awesome.
I haven't seen it in years.
When they use like the mop to play the cat in one scene in the back of the truck. Awesome.
I need to go back and rewatch that. There's so much stuff that I need to rewatch. Let me see. Let's find out. I'm going to put The Uninvited on my list. I'm sure it's streaming somewhere.
Nico mentions Dr. Giggles. That's one. Yeah, why is that not on Blu-ray?
Uninvited's on Tubi.
It is. It was a double feature with Otis.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It needs its own thing.
Yeah, it needs a proper one, but yeah.
And Cemetery Man would be the perfect 4K. I mean, somebody needs to get a hold of that and put it on 4K. That movie would look great in 4K.
I heard the only issue with that is there's a lot of overseas releases that are region free that have maybe muddy. But I mean, Cemetery Man, it's one of the greats of the 90s.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's an easy buy on 4K. That's something I'll drop $50 on if Synapse gets it.
Yeah.
But Tombs of the Blind Dead is also one I'm looking forward to, but I haven't heard if that's going to be 4K or just Blu-ray. But
I think that was just going to be Blu-ray. I think.
Okay.
Garrett mentioned something. What company is this that wants you to send them a video of you smashing your old disc to get the replacement disc? What company is this?
Criterion.
Oh, Criterion. Yeah. Criterion.
That is, I still don't know who thought that was a good idea. That's crazy.
Again, for me, Criterion is all hype. I think it's just all hype.
I'm just going to dress up as Alec Baldwin and just throw it up in the air and just
shoot it.
Boom.
Yeah, there you go.
Boom.
There you go. Yeah.
I think we need a Santa Sleigh 4K.
I agree.
That'd be cool.
and Sam, I adored your idea of a Santa Sleigh sequel with Scott Steiner as Santa Claus. But listen, just think, he's got the big white beard, but right down the middle of it is that streak. You know, I mean, he's got his freaks with him. He's got his, his. They're like sexy little elves. You know what I mean?
God.
Like barely dressed. And he's like, my freaks with my peaks, and oh God.
That would be incredible, but I think we would need a 2005 version of Scott Steiner.
Yes, we would need
the drawback.
We would need the Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner.
Oh my God, but dude, if he's still in that kind of shape, or
he is
close to it. Is he?
Yeah,
he's still jacked.
He's in good shape. Yeah,
it's like 60 now, but he's still jacked. I mean, he could do it. The only thing is directing Scott Steiner. I mean, like, Scott, that's not in the script. Shut up, you dumb son of a bitch. I'll do it the way I want.
That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. You just really have to like give him like kind of an idea of where you want him to go, and then let him do his thing.
Yeah.
Cutscenes.
The movie would be great, but the making of the movie would be
amazing,
incredible.
No, the thing is, like, you could do a room version of the movie very easily.
Oh, yes.
So even if Santa's Sleigh 2 doesn't work out, you have a documentary that's perfect.
You want me to get it greenlit right now? Hulk Hogan is Krampus.
Oh.
Boom.
Well, I mean, it's funny.
Don't tell him, but
I think I had an idea for like
not a bad idea.
Santa Claus at one point, but it was really a weird idea, and I had it like 4 years ago, so I don't remember all the details. But no, it's like I slept on Black Friday. Maybe I shouldn't sleep on Santa's Sleigh too.
Well, Scott Steiner legitimately hates like Ric Flair, so you get Ric Flair to be Krampus, and you get some real fireworks on that set.
Oh man. I'm just, that poor director is like, Santa doesn't kiss his biceps. Chick, shut up.
Oh my God. Oh, it wouldn't be. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it would be as good as Scott Steiner's workout video, though.
That workout video is pretty good. It's pretty good.
Oh man. Oh, that'd be such a fun movie. Oh my God.
It's gonna be a buzzkill though. It's gonna end up being Ryback. That's what's
oh my God.
We don't know. We don't need that. We don't.
Ryback is like the Daniela Pineda of wrestling. I know it's a deep cut.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
So where do we go from there? My God, where do we go from Scott Steiner in Santa's Sleigh 2?
I don't know if you can make like the thing is. So I checked out the writer and director of Santa's Sleigh, David Steinman. That's the only thing that he's done except other like random crew. His magnum opus is Santa's Sleigh. And it's like, I feel like at that point, I don't think you can make a better movie. It's like Harper Lee and To Kill a Mockingbird. Although that did have a sequel later, but you know what I mean.
People underestimate how good Santa's Sleigh is. For years, because Todd hated Goldberg the wrestler and he wouldn't watch it. And I was like, Todd, you need to Todd at Fleshman Features. You need to watch Santa's Sleigh. I don't care if you like Goldberg. It is awesome. And he finally did, and it's become a tradition. I've not gotten anybody to watch that hasn't loved it. If you're in the chat and you haven't, you need to this year.
It's free on Peacock, guys.
And the movie, I mean, the movie knows what it is and knows who's the star of it, and I mean, they just go with it. They have a good time. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so. It's all South Park humor. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Also, I'm guessing. I mean, I would have. Dan, have you seen can Goldberg do kip-ups? Because I don't know. I saw Santa do some sick kip-ups, and I was like, "Is that Goldberg? He's a big dude."
I don't think I've seen Goldberg do a kip-up. Used to do a backflip back in his like the early days, but
yeah,
nah, I don't know about a kip-up. Probably hurt himself.
Yeah, I mean, like I remember watching Shawn Michaels do kip-ups around the DX days, and it's like every time he did it, it would be like I would just watch and be like, I can see his back crack, like fucking cracking, like that's the noise I could see happening.
He looks like the guy that dances in those Six Flags commercials now. It's kind of depressing.
That's scary.
Yeah, Sean's not looking too good.
I think I jumped like the whole when he came out as the Colonel at SummerSlam that one time. I was like, nah.
Didn't quite work.
I can't do WWE anymore. I can watch AEW, but I tried to go back to watch WWE, and there was an egg thing going on, and I'm like, I'm watching Kenny Omega. I'm sorry. I don't want to see people that can actually wrestle.
Yeah, everybody's abandoning ship right now. So you're not alone.
I think they're selling, man. I really, really do. I think that's where it's going.
They
That's
have
the rumor,
to.
isn't it? That's the rumor.
Yeah, I think Amazon maybe might buy them out. I mean, it's really only one of 2 or 3 people that can.
Then we can have wrestlers in space.
Yes,
it's true.
I'd watch that.
Garrett is like daring me to play some of the Scott Steiner workout video, but we'd get the whole show canceled. I just remember the part where he's got like the women around him and he's like, "You get on me over here. You get on me over here. You get on me right here." And then he's like, it's like, oh,
that is something that needs an audio commentary.
Yes,
that's a live commentary thing.
Yes, yeah,
it's got to happen at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Can you imagine R-Truth winning the 24/7 title on Mars? Like, that should be within our lifetime.
Oh my
God.
God.
It's so weird. Like, I didn't even realize Dana Brooke was still employed, and I was like, "What? She's got a title?" I like Dana Brooke just fine, but I don't know. I mean, I know Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch had a solid match the other night, but it's like a couple of Liv Morgan things. I'm like, woo! Some of that was sloppy. Also, maybe don't take that crazy ass like knee to face bump like on outside. That's no.
Liv's not fantastic, to be honest. I know people like her, but
And I feel that way about Shotzi though.
Ooh, I like Shotzi, but she does almost die every like 3rd match, so that is a problem.
Well, when she had that match with Charlotte a few weeks back before like Sasha got into it, it's just Shotzi could not hold her own with Charlotte, and it was pretty obvious. And it was just like, ooh, you look really weak. But okay, I don't know.
All this wrestling talk, we're going to get Lauren come up here because you know how much he loves wrestling. We can have a wrestling discussion without Lauren. So he's probably running to his computer right now to join. But anything else you guys want to talk about before we call it a night? Anything on your mind? Anything pressing?
I need to talk about the Cowboy.
Oh, I got something for you guys. Go ahead, Sam. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, I got something for you guys. If you have not watched it, for the Christmas vibe, a horror film. It's not really scary, but it's a good, crazy, sadistic film. It's called the 2017 film You Better Watch Out, a perfect Christmas horror film. It's far out. I mean, just crazy.
Better watch out.
Number one recommend if you have not watched it.
Yeah, going blind. Really going blind for that film. It's really, really fun.
Yeah. Better Watch Out is fantastic.
And it's free on like everything. It's free on Peacock, Tubi, Vudu.
Have you seen it yet, Sam?
I have not.
Yeah, there's a lot of twists and turns, so you'll like it.
Perfect.
Now, Sam, is this a Sam Slams segment or is this?
Yes, I'm gonna slam the cancellation of Cowboy Bebop, and then also slam the 100 greatest screenplays of the 21st century so far from the WGA.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, okay. So we do have some overlap in our horror and our anime communities. So I don't know how many people are watching or have watched Cowboy Bebop on Netflix. Anyone? Okay.
I'm not an anime guy.
No worries. I mean, it's a show I saw years and years and years ago in my anime days back in high school. So the live action adaptation dropped on Netflix a couple weeks ago, and people were already hating on it because they were calling it woke. And I was like, okay, wait. Now, look, I like to shit on woke things all the time. I do it very well. And I have reasons because I don't want messages shoved down my throat. At the same time, I also like to come to my own conclusions about things, but people were dragging it for being woke, and it was announced that it got canceled today. I don't know how much that has to do with the woke factor or the fact that there are some issues with the show itself. We are still Chris and I are still 3 episodes away from finishing it. And it's beautiful. It's it's literally like watching a live action anime. And I don't know who the people are that I don't know what the problem is. There are some issues with Vicious and Julia. Julia does not need to be in this in the live action version that much. Just got to cut that down. Vicious is not good. It's like a combination of Draco Malfoy and Severus Snape, some sort of slash fiction love child. But the problem that, what I'm annoyed about is the people criticizing it as woke. And I don't, because apparently Faye Valentine has a relationship with a woman in the show. And yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be her and Spike at the end. At the same time, Elvira's bi, and I mean, it's why would it be that much of a stretch if Faye Valentine is bi? And then what's really fucking offensive that pisses me off really bad is people saying it's woke because Jet Black is a black guy. And I'm like, motherfuckers. You don't even watch the anime. I'm like, Bo Billingsley is a black dude. That's his voice actor. Also, Mustafa Shakir is the best part of Cowboy Bebop. He nails Jet's personality perfectly. Also, Bo Billingsley, the voice actor, he was in Halloween H2O. He was Detective Fitzsimmons. So there's your little horror tie-in. I'm still technically on topic. But I think a lot of people are just, complaining it's woke for all the wrong reasons when it's there are other criticisms to be made. But overall, it's beautiful. And if you compare it to a lot of Japanese anime that have been, if you compare it to a lot of Japanese live action adaptations, what do y'all not watch that? Lower your standards. It's not always it's kind of rough finding some quality Japanese live action adaptations out there.
Mm-hmm.
I have watched a lot of musical adaptations of anime, and that's kind of its own thing. That's rough. And maybe it's just America should stop adapting anime. I think it doesn't need to cross over anymore. I don't know. It's just
I want to see that.
I'm sorry.
I want to see that. I'm a huge Cowboy Bebop fan, by the way. I'm a super fan for the anime. So I'm looking forward to it. The only reason I said haven't seen it is because I'm waiting. My better half is the biggest fan of Cowboy Bebop that I've ever met.
I'm sorry I spoiled it.
No, it's okay. She's not here. She's asleep.
Okay.
And she hasn't seen it, and she's gonna be upset that it's canceled. That may stop her from seeing it. I know that she was watching Dirk Gently, and all of a sudden that got canceled. She was like, maybe we'll finish that.
I love that too.
Yeah. But for the woke part, seriously, I mean, I had the same thing when it came. Remember when He-Man was a thing? They did the He-Man show. I'm a big He-Man fan, and so they put out the He-Man series, and spoiler alert for somebody who hasn't seen He-Man yet. Yeah, they kill off the character at the beginning of the show, but they bring him back. He gets better, type of thing. But it was so as a fan, I read the comics and had some of the figures and all that stuff when I was a kid. They did so much work on that He-Man series. Holy crap! It was just fan service with fan service with fan service. And if you were an actual fan of the Master of the Universe He-Man stuff, I swear you liked it. But if you were, a lot of times I think people come in with their own agenda. I'm not going to like this. Right away. I'm not going to like this because, ABC. But
exactly.
And
And
like for Cowboy Bebop, for He-Man, like people haven't seen the second half of He-Man yet, and guess what? A lot of crow being eaten, like for the second half of that series. But yeah, I want to see Cowboy Bebop, canceled or not. Hopefully, they uncancel it because Netflix cancels way too many shows.
Netflix cancels everything. Like
I
nothing
know.
makes it past season 3. It seems.
Yeah, it's like season 3 curse.
It's probably the cost. That's
Yeah.
probably, the cost couldn't keep up with the reviews because it was just performing slightly below around 60%, which is what they usually have second seasons at least ones that they've renewed. And this is just based on like Rotten Tomatoes, which again, that doesn't make a lot of difference either. That can swing either way, but it's stunning. And I mean, I've heard complaints about the CGI, and I don't agree. I think it looks fine. Like it's supposed to look like an anime, and it does, but it's also realistic. And John Cho's pretty solid as Spike, but Mustafa Shakir is like that's the Jet Black I grew up with. Watching that Jet Black, perfect. He is legit the best part of the show. And I mean, Daniela Pineda as Faye is just not great. She's almost there in parts, but she's the weak link. So, but I would definitely recommend it.
Do they use the same like opening theme song? Because that is an iconic opening theme song.
Of course, yeah. And there's some original music that Yoko Kanno has in there too. And it's like swimming in high school nostalgia. So, I mean, I really think it's one of these things where it's like, if you're going to complain about it being woke, let's give reasons why, but let's also go make our own judgments. And I don't think a lot of people were making judgments. They were just like, oh, that's not how it is in the anime. I'm like, did you watch the show? It looks amazing. Everybody's pretty much on point. What more do you want from a live action anime? I'm sorry. I'm just like, I'm really, really bummed about this. Because I'm not, Death Note was a garbage movie. Maybe Dragon Ball Evolution is our best thing that we've adapted into a live action.
What would you recommend for a guy that's not really watched a lot of anime, like horror-wise?
Horror anime? Oh, God. I'm really bad about this. I think the chat can probably rattle off a bunch of horror anime if you give them a second. Okay, so here's the thing about me. So I love horror movies, but I also like magical girls. That's my anime. That's like where I usually reside. Or I watch really strange magical girl stuff. I don't know. I have to think about horror, though. I mean, I guess if you don't watch anime, you could always start off with Ninja Scroll like a lot of us did.
Well, there you go. My brother was a big anime guy. Like I did watch one called Elfin Lied. It was like a sci-fi.
Oh, that one, yes. That one is very good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh, also, Berserk. So, I haven't seen it, but my husband has. And it was funny because we were watching the Advent calendar the other night. Oh, this motherfucker ruined it for me 8 minutes and 10 seconds in. So he points out, okay, spoilers if you haven't seen the Advent calendar.
I liked it.
2, 1. Yeah, I thought it was a really good movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit. But the marking on the Advent calendar. So Mr. Sam points out, hey, that looks like the thing from Berserk. And it's this certain symbol where it's like, it's an invocation for something or other, and it represents sacrifice. And I was like, just fucking ruins the movie. But I looked it up, so it's my fault.
Yeah, that was different. I'm surprised nobody's taken the whole Advent calendar concept yet, so I liked it.
I don't think I needed to see the corporeal form of Ish. I think you could have really limited him and just mostly kept him as a little pop-up in the box, but I thought it was a really cool idea. It was trying lots of new things, and overall I was like, no, that's like a high B for me.
Yeah. I like the lead in that too. I thought she was really strong. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't call it a classic French horror film. I mean, it's not a Martyrs or an Inside, but it's pretty damn good. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I think. She reminded me of a young Selma Blair.
Oh, you can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, but no lie, there is a part in the advent calendar where her friend calls a dick a baby Jesus, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking?" No one says that. If they do, they should not be allowed in public.
It's a French thing.
Also, her friend is terrible.
I see some people mentioning Vampire Hunter D in the chat. I've seen that.
Yeah, no, I like Bloodlust better, but very good.
So
there's that one. Yeah, I do have one more thing to slam, and then I'll stop talking.
Please do.
I think a lot of people probably saw this making the rounds, at least on Dread Central, but the WGA gave us the 101 greatest screenplays of the 21st century so far, and Get Out was number one. I love that movie. It's very good. But the best screenplay of the century so far?
I like it
I have
too.
to totally
Like
disagree with
number
that
6.
one. Like, no,
Like, it's
that's
good.
I would disagree totally with that. That's not a good one for number one spot.
Yeah.
Definitely not a good number one spot.
I mean, compared to, like, you look at number 2 and it's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, Charlie Kaufman is pretty much just taking his big dick with writing screenplays and just boom, right on the table. I mean,
Yeah,
adaptations on the list too. They're
going to put that quote on the 4K now, Sam.
I hope so, and I hope they attribute it to me and include my Twitter handle.
So here's the list. Number 1, Get Out. Number 2, Eternal Sunshine. Number 3, The Social Network. Number 4, Parasite. Number 5, No Country for Old Men. Number 6 is Moonlight. Number 7 is There Will Be Blood. Number 8, Inglourious Bastards. Number 9, Almost Famous. Number 10 is Memento. Let's see if there's anything else on here that jumps out at me.
I know Legally Blonde is at the very bottom of the list.
I can actually see that.
The
like,
Dark
as
Knight.
a writer, like it's well scripted. Like a
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I agree. And I mean, they're like Bridesmaids is on the list. I mean, I get that. I think I don't know if I'd put it up. Yeah, 40-Year-Old Virgin. But then there's Borat.
Mulholland Drive is number 41.
How was it number 41? It was was it listed as the most important film or the best film of the 20th century, of the last 10 years, and yet it's 41 as a screenplay.
Zodiac is 46.
Also, Promising Young Woman is up here pretty high, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
No.
What we needed to do was put Mother at number 1 and then piss everybody off. I love that.
They've got.
I really liked Mother a lot.
Me too.
Yeah, it's weird, and I like how crazy it goes.
Memento should be higher.
They've got Black Panther as number 57.
I have questions about that. I mean, it has probably a better plot than some of the standalone Marvel movies. Like, it's definitely better than Captain Marvel. But at the same time, like, we have a lot of superhero movies. And I'm like, well, what about Logan?
That's a much better film.
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street is number 63.
That movie is so good. Why is it at 63?
Mad Max Fury Road is 68.
I love Mad Max Fury Road. I think that's a masterpiece. I don't know script though. Like not anything against it, but it's not a particularly complex script.
We do have Shaun of the Dead is at number 77.
I mean, yeah. I could see. Yeah.
3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri at 80. I really like that movie.
I love that movie. Movie.
Superbad at number 88.
I love that movie so much. It's one of my favorite comedies.
Borat at number 93.
I'm also confused why Spirited Away is on here. I mean, I guess it still counts. Like, we're just going with the translation, but maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Lars and the Real Girl is at 96. I loved Lars and the Real Girl.
Yeah.
Winter's Bone is 98. I liked Winter's Bone a lot. So yeah, there's some interesting. It's like, you know, you've got here's Winter's Bone, and then here's a comic book origin story movie.
Hey, where's my Anne and the Apocalypse at? Sorry, I like that movie.
Not
do
on
too.
here.
Yeah.
Not on here.
Silver Linings Playbook is bottom of the list, and I'm a little surprised.
101. Yep, number 101.
So, I mean, it's just people in the WGA voting, but I'm like,
Before Sunset at number 39. Inception.
Is Her on there?
Yeah, Her is on here. Yes.
Okay, I figured that should be on there.
The Departed is 30.
I feel like Departed should be higher up.
The Dark Knight is number 26. Arrival is 27. I really liked Arrival.
Yeah.
Promising Young Woman is 23.
That is crazy to me. Like, it's grouped right next to Juno, and I'm like, what? No. I mean, I saw Promising Young Woman pretty recently, and I was just like, but there's nothing, but the heroine's an idiot. And she's not even really a heroine. I mean...
Brokeback Mountain is number 13. We've got another Charlie Kaufman scripted adaptation, number 11. So, like, I can agree with just about all of these, but I mean, Get Out is like, I've seen that movie a million times. That's the Stepford Wives. And how many Stepford Wives ripoffs are there out there? No, I mean, it's a good movie. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, the best screenplay?
Yeah, I have so many questions.
Well, I guess it's better put together than most of the Stepford Wives remakes that are right there, including the sequels, Stepford Husband, Stepford Children, all that stuff. But still, I mean, not top. Like, I would still have it up like fairly high, but not in the top 10. Maybe not in the top 20. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. It's just like I was just looking at some of the other the other movies on here. I'm just like, I'm confused.
Network need to be up that high too.
Interesting, very interesting.
Yep, but no, I just had to, I had to rant about that because I just don't. It's a great movie. I like it a lot. It's not the best. That's all. There are stronger movies.
Yeah. There are a lot stronger movies on that list than Get Out, for sure.
Yeah, well, it's still a good movie. I'll still continue to enjoy it when I watch it.
It was one of the more questionable Oscar wins for me, but I mean, I still like seeing a horror film, get recognized. But yeah, I don't know. That Memento, Her, those are brilliant. I don't know if Get Out is brilliant in terms of the script.
Right.
No, I wouldn't call it brilliant.
No.
Charlie Kaufman's at home right now burning his WGA card. He's like, I've got 2 scripts under you. Give me number 1? Come on.
He should be eliminated for making Keanu. God damn it. He's throwing his laptop right now.
Did he write Keanu? No, Jordan Peele. Right.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Kaufman, like, wait, what?
No. That would be a very odd.
That would be a different movie.
Yeah.
Well, where's Neil Breen? Neil Breen.
Yeah, I was surprised how low that the film, The Prestige. I was surprised how low it ranked, and also the other film with George Clooney, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I was surprised how low those ranked in the list. I think they ranked in the mid 80s. That was very surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you one though that is not going to be on this list, and I don't know if anybody else has watched the trailer yet, but that new Lucille Ball movie that Nicole Kidman's playing Lucy. I just looked at the trailer. I'm like, she is nothing like Lucy. My God. I think that one's going to be a Razzie because
it has Razzie vibes, and I'm desperately fighting. I'm trying not to be blackpilled about it because it's like, oh, I really want that to be good, but it looks terrible.
She does not like at all resemble or come off as Lucille Ball. I don't know. Maybe that would have been a good Jessica Chastain role, but
Yeah, I could see it.
Not Nicole Kidman. So I don't know. I think they got Javier Bardem, I believe, is Ricky. So
I think so.
He'll do good. He'll do good as Ricky.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to House of Gucci. I want to see that so badly.
I do too, because I don't know a lot about that story.
Same.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like, oh, okay, cool. I don't know exactly what happened. So
the trailer looked pretty good.
So. Yeah, I mean, Adam Driver is a great actor anyway, and it's like, who knew that Lena Dunham would give the world Adam Driver? Who knew that we would have to be thankful thankful to Lena Dunham for something? Now, I mean, girls had its moments, but let's be serious. Adam Driver's the best thing to come out of that show. Lady Gaga is, pretty like she's just being Lady Gaga in the, but I'm fine with it. It looks great. It looks like I would enjoy seeing that on a cold, wintry day in the theater.
Yeah. You don't have cold, wintry days in Texas. What are you talking about?
I have 2 or 3 every year. Thank you very much. Maybe we'll get another winter storm. You don't know.
I wish we had slams at that point when you had the snowpocalypse down there.
Oh, I was pissed. We didn't lose electricity in the apartment, but we did lose water because pipes were frozen.
Oh, man.
So Mr. Sam was going and bringing up snow, and we were just melting it in the tub and boiling it and whatnot. And it was like 5 days without a shower. It was really nasty. So, and also the biggest problem was like, Chris took that week off because that week we were supposed to be moving into our house and we couldn't do it.
Oh, no.
So that's what happens every time we have a major milestone. We got married. The next day, Italy shuts its borders because of COVID. Go and about to go close on a house. Giant winter apocalypse. Again, my uterus is the only thing holding the economy together. Everybody pray I don't get pregnant.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I've been planning things. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. But anyway, let's go ahead and call it. Let's go ahead and call it a show there. Absolutely. Let's close out on Sam's uterus.
There you go.
No better way to close the show.
Roll credits.
I don't have one of those vibrators with the camera on it like Lauren was talking about. So
we won't even go there. Lauren was doing some really weird Christmas shopping, and he decided to share his Christmas list with us. And let's just say it included a vibrator that had a camera on board. Wouldn't
it just be Blair Witch all up in your puss?
I mean, they don't call it where the sun don't shine for nothing. You're not going to see anything. It's dark up in there,
Yeah, so I'm like, what's the point? It's just going to be a bunch of, the video is just going to be like a black screen. It's just like, that's it.
I feel like we're on the verge of a great, not cosmic horror. I don't know what you would call that. But some sort of
Is this related to my uterus?
This is Aaron's first show, and he's like, "What the hell have I gotten into here?"
I'm sorry, I don't know how to control myself.
Guys, it's got hentai vibes.
Well, let's go ahead and let's call it a show there. This has been a lot of fun. Let me do some shout outs here before we call it a night. I want to give a shout out to Nico for the $5 super chat. Thank you, man. We appreciate that. Let's see who's still with us tonight. Who survived, exactly. We've got Ben Grimm in the chat, Punisher Batman fan, Big Crack Rock, Robert Long. There's our buddy Nico. Lauren was in the chat hanging out tonight. JS, Concrete Special, Mike Barrett. Let's see. Robert's dad. is in the chat. Dr. CZ Death. Megavania fan. I know Jess was in the chat earlier. Anthony Anderson, what's up? You know who I've not seen in the chat tonight, and I'm concerned, is DJ Donnelly. DJ, are you okay?
Maybe
he was here earlier.
DJ was here early. Okay. I must have missed him.
Right at the beginning.
Okay. We've got Latoya Battle, Jonathan from Bombastic Reviews. Christian was in the chat earlier. Joe Reese, Night Fright Talk Show. Brian Trash, our old buddy, the Daily Ghost, was here earlier. Yeah. So, where can we find you on the social medias, Dan?
Flesh Wound features here on YouTube, and Flesh Wound Radio on Twitter.
Okay, cool. Sam, where can we find you on the social medias?
Just mostly on Twitter right now, Sheeby_GBs. And on the YouTubes, I have a channel for Sheeby GBs, but most of my stuff will be with Lauren on Visited by Voices 1. So go there.
Cool. MJ, where can we find you on social media?
On YouTube, you can find me at Let's Talk for a Minute. On Facebook, you can catch me at Let's Talk for a Minute as well. And that's Kel TV on Instagram.
Cool.
Aaron, where can we find you?
Well, on YouTube now going in for my 10th year at Call to Cinema. And hopefully next year we'll be doing our podcast for the first time, Call to Cinema podcast. So I do Instagram and all that too, but not a lot. But you can find me there. Charm007 on Instagram.
All right, cool. Well, Aaron, how was your first experience on Region Free? Would you recommend it?
Thank you guys. It's been a blast. And on all honesty, it's been amazing.
All right, cool. Yeah. Well, it's good to have you. Hopefully the first of many future appearances. And if you're not familiar with Aaron's channel, Cult of Cinema, go and check him out. MJ, it was good seeing you again tonight, man.
Oh, nice to see all you guys. I had a blast.
I hope you continue to feel better.
Oh, yes.
Cool. Dan, always a pleasure, sir.
Thank you.
And Sam, a double slam tonight.
Well, I'm sorry for bringing down the show. No, thank you for having me as always. It's always really fun. And it's cool to meet you, Aaron, and MJ. It's always good to see you, sir. Dan, you're all right.
Dan,
you're all right.
Yeah, you're all right, Dan.
Solid B+ player.
You don't even own a TV.
We will be back next week. We're going to do some sort of Christmas episode next week. And from my understanding, it's going to be pretty much a packed house. I think a lot of the folks who've not been able to make it as of late are going to be here next week. So we'll have a fun little Christmas show. I think Lauren's going to dress up as the baby Jesus. Dan is going to be Santa. He's already got the beard going.
I will be dressed up. I will be dressed up.
Wow. All right.
I will commit to it now.
All right. This is going to be fun. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great rest of your night. We all hope you're having a great holiday season, and we'll see you again next week. Until then, peace.